Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here with a short video with an update from the Eastern District of New York, and Judge Donnelly seems to be a little perplexed. So I hope everyone is doing good and that you are taking time to enjoy your family over this weekend, and that you aren't working too hard if you have to work at all. And so not much has been going on with the Eastern District of New York case. You all know that the sentencing is going to take place on Wednesday, June 29th. And I told you guys about a week ago, or maybe almost 2 weeks ago, that Jennifer Bongine had submitted the sentencing memorandum that, they were waiting on the mitigation expert to give their reports and whatnot. And she filed that under seal. So there was nothing for me to talk about in regards to that because I can't see the file, right? However, I noticed that Radar Online did come out that same day with an article, and they were talking about the whole Ariel Clary text messaging between her mom, where it was quite evident that Alice Clary they didn't post the text messages. They alluded to it, talked about it, and they said that the information was in the sentencing report. And so I was saying to myself, now she filed that under seal, so how is Radar Online talking about it? And so they've come out with a couple of more little blogs where they're talking about stuff from the case. And so I'm sitting there saying to myself, okay, is this stuff that was in the sentencing memorandum, or are they going back pulling old documents? Because a lot of the stuff that they were talking about, we already knew about. So we already knew about the text messages and some of the other stuff that they were talking about. So I was a little bit confused as to whether or not they have a copy of the sentencing memorandum, or if they are just going back looking at older documents. So in any event, those documents, the exhibits, there was an exhibit report from a Dr. Renee Sorrentino. There was an exhibit of her, her resume, or the resume of her and a Dr. Park Dietz, Daniel Martell, and Shante Alexander. So these are all doctors who worked on the mitigation report with Mr. Kelly. And then there were some character letters that had been submitted. And all of this took place on the 13th under seal. So then on the 17th, there was a letter dated June 17th, 2022 regarding restitution. And that was filed under seal by the government, by the Eastern District of New York. And then on June 23rd, they filed a sentencing memorandum supplement to their sentencing report that they wanted to add on to, I guess, after looking at what Ms. Bongine had put out, and they filed it under seal. And then on June 24th, which was yesterday, there was a letter filed under seal, and it was regarding, they used the initial CVRA as to Mr. Kelly, and that was filed by the government. So I'm not sure if that was like another resume or had something to do with the people, the doctors that, worked on the mitigation report or not, but it was filed under seal. So here comes Judge Donnelly, and Judge Donnelly says she don't know what the hell going on. But she needs some answers, and she needs some answers quickly. So she says the court has received the defendant's supplemental sentencing memorandum and exhibits and the government's letter in response. The defense filed the entirety of its submission under seal without any accompanying explanation of why sealing is necessary. The government also filed its response under seal, but explained that it does not believe any of the information is confidential and that it filed its submission under seal because the defendant had filed their report under seal. So she goes on to say that documents may be sealed if specific on the record findings are made demonstrating that closure is essential to preserve higher values and narrowing tailored to serve that interest. And that's from a court hearing, Luggage versus Pyramid Company of Onondaga, which was heard in the Second Circuit in 2006. And then she says by 5 p.m. on June 26, 2022, which is tomorrow, the defendant and the government are directed to file letters not to exceed 3 pages addressing whether the defendant's supplemental submission should be sealed in whole or in part, to the extent that the defendant seeks to file under seal or with redactions. The defendant must explain why doing so is necessary, cite relevant authority, and must provide the court and the government with proposed redactions, if any. And this was ordered by Judge Ann Donnelly on June 24th, 2022. So now, I remember that Jennifer Bonjean said that there might be some stuff in the mitigation report that could be, could violate his Fifth Amendment right and be used against him in the Chicago case. So I assumed that because she filed it under seal, that there was some sensitive information in there that she didn't want to get out. But there were attachments to the document. So like I said, there were the resumes, the character letters, the exhibit report from the Dr. Renee Sorrentino, and then there was an exhibit report from Dr. Park Diaz. So, of course, those might contain the information that's confidential and needs to be sealed. But what else is in the report that she is... Like, it was really confusing to me. And so then I got to thinking about, she shut down her Twitter after... Actually, I don't think I talked to you guys about that because it was so stupid and ignorant what was going on. But in any event, she shut down her Twitter account because, certain bloggers were getting on her nerves. People were sending money after she told them not to send the money. People were questioning her experience, and just a whole bunch of nonsense was going on. And so, basically she had stated before that the only reason she was on Twitter giving updates was because Mr. Kelly had asked her to keep his supporters informed about what was going on. But, she had the Cosby case that she was working on that was about to start. She had to go to California, so she's had a lot of back and forth and a lot on her plate that the last thing she needed was for supporters or people claiming to be supporters to be harassing her and just, throwing crazy nonsense out there, trying to get her in trouble because, not every state allows attorneys to collect money or start defense funds. And that was why Doug Anton was doing the defense fund, because he had a license in New York, whereas Chicago doesn't allow attorneys to do defense funds. And so why people were sending her money, I don't know. But, once you get into that whole money thing and collecting money and starting defense funds, you put attorneys in a really tight spot, especially if it's not recommended or not allowed. But in any event, when she filed the document under seal, I was thinking that, hey, it was confidential information, stuff that the public didn't need to see at this point. Well, evidently Judge Donnelly don't think so. So now I'm starting to wonder if she's just going to file everything under seal, just because she's so sick and tired of the supporters that she was like, I'll just file it all under seal. And it brings to question, remember, like before the trial started, the government used to file stuff under seal all the time and the judge never said anything. But now she's questioning Jennifer Bonjean, like, why are you filing this stuff under seal? And then, dear government, why are you filing stuff under seal, talking about, well, we were following her lead. That's what she did, so we decided we'd do it too. So it's all just really, really weird. And so I don't know if, whatever they file tomorrow, if that's going to be under seal, but I will make a note to check back and see what the response was and whether or not it was filed under seal as well. And so I just wanted to bring this quick update to you guys. It's not that I'm ignoring the Eastern District of New York case. It's because there's nothing to report because they've been sealing all the documents. And what else? Oh, and then of course on the 29th, I'll be back with the sentencing, what time he was sentenced to. So that's it for me. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Rate the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye bye.